Hi guys, so Northern Ireland was ignored by Brexiteers, swept under the carpet, but those of us who actually cared about it and what would happen there raised it as an issue on numerous occasions. I began talking about how Northern Ireland would be affected by Brexit a long time ago, and about how the fact that there's an Irish lobby in Washington and how it is bipartisan. You have Democrats and Republicans in Congress who want to see peace maintained in Northern Ireland. They have said before that if Boris Johnson or Lord Frost were to do anything to upset the peace process, they would react by either closing down the possibility of a US-UK trade deal, or they would go even further and possibly impose some sort of sanctions on the British government. Limited, I might add, but politically embarrassing nonetheless. Here we have a US senator reinforcing that when he was interviewed by Sky News.
We obviously have great equities in the Good Friday Agreement. There are supporters on both sides of the aisle, Republicans and Democrats in Congress. And I think the message is that right now we want to make sure that these negotiations over the Northern Ireland Protocol, the sort of last stages of Brexit, are done in a way that doesn't compromise the relative peace and stability that you see today in and around Belfast. You've got a lot of members of Congress who care deeply about the Good Friday Agreement, and many of us feel that exercising Article 16 could plunge Northern Ireland into economic chaos, which could lead to political instability. And we need to press this message in Brussels as well. Brussels needs to come to the table and agree to be flexible on the implementation of the protocols. But there's certainly a lot of American interest in making sure that we preserve the foundations of the Good Friday Agreement.
So they're concerned about the Good Friday Agreement. And unfortunately, I think they don't fully understand Brexit. They don't understand the Northern Ireland Protocol. Because when they say that the European Union need to be flexible, I don't know if this is political speech in order to help Boris Johnson's government to appear as we're being neutral here, or they don't understand it. Now, I hope it's the case that they are just trying to be diplomatic here. Look, we're trying to be, neutral. We care about peace in Northern Ireland. That is our priority. We're not going to pick sides here. We're not going to pick the side of the European Union or the British government. But we're going to put peace in Northern Ireland as a priority. That's what we support. So when he says that the European Union need to be flexible, obviously he doesn't understand, or he's pretending not to know about the fact that the European Union have eliminated 80% of the checks on goods moving from Great Britain to Northern Ireland. That's flexibility. What does Boris Johnson and Lord Frost want the EU to do? And I've asked this question a number of times. What do they want from the European Union? What does Lord Frost expect the European Commission to compromise on? He has not given us any examples that we can look at. And unfortunately, I've yet to hear Lord Frost be interviewed. He writes articles for the newspapers. He's appeared in front of select committees. He's been in the House of Lords. But I've never actually seen him sit down and give an interview, and especially be grilled on things like this. So it's understandable that the US government is concerned about what's happening. They want to appear as neutral in this, on this issue. They don't want to pick sides. Their concern is the Good Friday Agreement, which I think is being maintained at the moment, and I don't think Boris Johnson wants to tear it up. But if he were to do something like that, I think the US-UK trade deal would be under threat, and of course, there would be some sort of sanctions. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.